Hello, my stamping friends. It's Marilyn here, Stamping Creations with Marilyn, coming to you Thursday night live from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. So I'm going to see if I can make this any better tonight. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, welcome to my Thursday night live. I am going to go over a few things with you that are happening in Stampin' Up world as well as my world, and then we will do a crafting project. And we will chitter chatter all the way through. Love having you here. If you're watching the replay, please comment as well. I do go back through all of the comments before next week and draw a name to give the card I make tonight to that person. So love having you here. Please chat and visit with each other, and we will carry on. Usually I have a question for you, and that one, if you noticed at the beginning, I'll just show you this again while I'm getting a few more things organized here, is that these are the retiring in colors that will be retiring here in a month, end of April, so 2 months, I guess. So just want to ask you, which one of those are you going to miss the most? We have Pale Papaya, Fresh Freesia, Polished Pink, Evening Evergreen, and Soft Succulent. And I, for one, I really like the Soft Succulent. I like the Evening Evergreen almost as much. The Fresh Freesia I've used lots. I have not used the Pale Papaya very much, but let me know what your thoughts are on those things. And I will continue through come back to you so you can see me. And I'm hoping that everything is working well tonight. I'm just going to flip to comments for a minute. And I see a bunch of names there, so it means that I'm kind of in the right place and you are finding me. So I'm going to share what I do each week. I have a Zoom with Friends class every Friday at 1 o'clock. Great fun time. We laugh, we chatter, we share great ideas and great thoughts, great concern for each other. And it's just a fun thing. And we make a craft of some sort, whether it's a 3D item or a card. We always just have lots of fun. We use our own products. We have different teachers each week. I've already got the next 3 weeks lined up for varying people as well. And yeah, if you want to join, reach out to me, let me know, and I'll put you in that group that get the email, which gives you a supply list on Thursday mornings. And then we do this crafting Friday at 1 o'clock. I don't share that Zoom link publicly, but I do share it in that email. So let me know. I also have a monthly card club that I hold the third Wednesday of each month. And again, anyone in Canada can subscribe to that, register for that, I should call it. And as long as I have time, I will certainly send you the kit anywhere in Canada, and you can create with us on Zoom. I also have a 12 months of Christmas card. Same idea. Anywhere in Canada, I will mail the kit out. And the other class that I do hold is, so far, monthly, will be a Stamp-A-Stack. And I had one of those today, and I see Maggie is on here, Bonnie, Betty. They all were part of that Stamp-A-Stack group today. Diana, I don't know if you're on here, but Diana was there as well. And we just have a great time crafting together. Like I say, it's a great community that we've got. So if you want to join any of us in any of those, please just let me know. So I'm going to switch over to the desktop. I have a number of things to show you. And you can see my Sale-A-Bration catalog. I'm just going to quickly look at comments in case there's anything. I see Kathy, Linda, Bonnie, Judy, from Didsbury, Marie, Maggie. I finished my Stamp-A-Stack cards. Good for you. Okay, and my question was, which of these in colors that are retiring are you going to miss the most? And I see comments like Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen. We should do a poll, hey? Can we still register for 12 months of Christmas? Just today. Today is the last day, Ines, for that. Just pop that on so that you can see what we're talking about. Betty's comment here. Betty is watching us from, okay, Maybe I can't do that. There. Black and white class today was wonderful. Thank you, Betty. Um, and hello, Carmen from Chicago. Good to see you here again. So it we have a great time, as you know. And like I say, if you're watching the replay as well, put your name in the draw, in for the draw for the card that we make tonight. I've also been giving away 5 cards each week, as you know. Usually at the end of my Facebook Live, I will do a draw and you can see the names for the draw. Unfortunately, I can't do that tonight because I'm using a new browser, which is what has finally allowed me to do this Facebook Live much clearer. The sound is better, the picture's better, the whole thing. However, I haven't figured out how to do the draw on there, so I will take all of your names and do the draw later and let you know the 5 people who have won that. I will post it in the group. So what I want to do first off, before making the card, is just highlight the Sale-A-Bration items because we only have until Tuesday to get them. So I'm going to move these because we need more room, obviously. And just flip through this, and I want to show you some of the sets and some of the cards that I've got from swaps, just to give you an idea of what you can do with these sets. So Adorable Owls, free with a $60 order. And Carmen, with knowing you're not in Canada, there are demonstrators in the US that same idea. You can do this, only I believe it's $50 US for that. So let me know if you're looking for any supplies there, and I'll put you in touch with somebody close to you. Okay? So Adorable Owls. I have made a few. I did this one in one of the Facebook Lives. I did a bit of coloring and background stamping for that one. I did this one for a swap. So just a different fold again. And I received these 2 in swaps. This one, the owl has been cut out with paper snips because there are no dies to go with it. And this one, this one's really cute because the circle dies, same idea as mine, only it surrounds it. So that's a neat feature there. Next is the Thanks a Bunch carrots. And as you can see, I have not used mine yet, but I do have a couple of samples to show you there. This one's done with the tiny carrots. There's some tiny ones in here. There's some larger ones. I've seen some of these done where you turn them around and they look like trees. Different colors there. Another one there that's been fussy cut. So another great set. And my cousin, who's a gardener, did purchase or get that set free, and she was tickled to have it. Next, we have Dainty Flowers designer paper, which is sold out, but this is a card I made last week with it. And this is the one for this week. Or no, this is the one we made last week. So someone will be winning that one at the end of tonight. And here's another one with a little bit of a dragonfly on there. Different fold for that. Another fold showing more of the paper that you can see there. So that was a great deal if you were able to get in on getting the paper. I will miss fresh freesia. Yes. Next page is this paper, and okay, I thought I had some of that here, but I don't. Oh, just a minute. Maybe I do. Sorry. So this is just some samples of the paper. So you get 12 by 12 sheets, but great farm animals, farm, and the backside is a little more generic. Then Sending Support is a great stamp set for doing exactly that. And in this day and age, we all know we could use some support. So another great stamp set there. I'm not going to bore you with lots of this, but and this is a swap card that I received that had that. There are so many ways you might feel right now. Alone should not be one of them. So beautiful, beautiful sayings in those. This paper, I didn't look today, but I assume it's still available. I haven't heard any comments about it. A couple cards I received as swaps there. This one is done with window sheet in it. And this one is done with a different fold to open it up. So great, great paper. It looks a bit bold to begin with, but it is wonderful. Then we have In the Country, and this is the one I'm going to use tonight to make the card. But before we get there, I'll just quickly show you some of those samples. This is one just stamped and then die cut, and the frame is raised. One done with a book fold, as we call it. And these two I did a couple weeks ago, just showing different ways that you can color that set. Then we have the $120 set, Beautifully Happy. Love, love, love this set. It has, kind of hard to see that way, but it has a stamp, and then it has the infill colors that go right on top of it. And it's really easy because they're photopolymer that you can line them up. So this is another different fold that you can use. This one is just using the pinks and purples. Another one with the Coastal Cabana color, and see how perfect they match? Like they line up. So great idea there. And last but not least in here for products is the designer paper. This is 48 sheets of 12 by 12. And I'll just flip through that to show you some of the gorgeous colors in that one. And then I've got to what I'm going to do tonight. So I will leave that here and show you there are some new things which I think I can show you this way. Yes. So you can see that Stampin' Up! Came out with what they call some more to celebrate. Well, before I go to that, just remember that the best thing is to join, and you're always welcome to join my team. So reach out if you're interested in that at all. But this set, this page, I have a few things. There is a card kit, there's a packaging kit, there is a frayed ribbon, which is this. I guess it would help if I showed you the pieces. I'm trying to, right? And with this, you get 2 rolls of this ribbon if you pick it. There is a essential tag punch. And I recently saw this used in, you know how we used to, or most of you would know, how we used to use a circle punch to cut just a piece where you could pull a credit card out or a gift card out of a tab. I saw someone that had used this, like just punched it across here. Worked perfect. So I thought, what a great idea. And another punch for the Songbird, In the Clouds embossing folder, Hive embossing folder, decorative masks. Enjoy the Journey designer paper. If you haven't seen this, it is amazing. I haven't opened this package. This is one that I did get with my last order. And then for the $120 is this bundle, which is Eden's Garden stamp set and dies. And those are no longer available as a bundle. So if you were to purchase them out of the catalog, you would be paying full price for those. So just so you're aware of all of those. And as I mentioned, best thing yet is to join my team. You have 3 options right now. 2 of them you pay half price to get a mini cut and emboss machine. And the other one is just get your product for less money than, you get more product than usual. Okay, so In the Country. Questions. Thank you, Bonnie. I see you answering questions for me. Welcome, Karen. Good to see you. And yeah, anything else? Let me know. I will go back and read all the comments afterwards. Yes, Deb is going to miss polished pink. Ugh, can't talk. Yeah. So my question tonight was, what in color are you going to miss the most when they retire here in a couple of weeks? So I thought in conjunction with sharing what was in the Sale-A-Bration and going to be gone soon, I would show you something else in the country stamp set. It's only 2 stamps, which, look at that, all 3 of my samples there have the same thing. However, I'm going to do something different tonight. So those are done with the castle, I'm going to call it. And then there's one with the countryside. So what I found and decided I would do is I'm going to do a spotlight technique. I have my regular card base. Do they retire in March? You're talking about the end colors, Ines. They retire at the end of the annual catalog, which is the end of April. So if you're looking for any ink refills or ink products or sometimes paper, get it now because it will go as soon as it's mentioned in that retiring list. Okay, so I have my regular size cardstock. I'm going to have a piece inside. Then I have cut a piece of this, and I'm using Cajun Craze cardstock, partly because I wanted to use this, and I know it's going to be hard on your eyes, but this paper that is so sparkly, dry brushed metallic, has Cajun Craze, petal pink, and soft succulent. So you can see in this blues and greens, the soft succulent and the petal pink is somewhat in here. And I'm going to bring in my ink, and I'm going to stamp using the field, for lack of a better term. I'm going to ink it upside down because I find it gets much better coverage that way for a bigger, larger stamp like that. And I'm going to stamp it on this piece that I've cut out with the deckled dies. And just hold it there for a minute for the ink to transfer. Yes, Karen, soft succulent evening evergreen, those are the ones that I said I would miss the most as well. But we know, if we've been around for a while, we know that our stamps do retire every 2 years, so use them while you can. Okay, so to add just a little bit of color, I'm going to use my blending brush. I'm going to ink it. I'm going to rub it off on a block in case I want to use that ink. And then I'm just going to add some color around the edges. Just same color. I'm not using anything wild and wonderful, but I think it just adds and makes it stand out when we're going to put it on there, right? Okay. Next, I would take my circle dies, or you can use, oh, I need that again. You can use squares if you so desire, but in this case, I use circles and cut out a circle. Then you would, this is the spotlight technique, then you would cut a little bit bigger circle in probably the color that you have back here. But because I am missing a die that goes with my circle dies, I don't have one that's a little bit bigger. So my 2 are both the same size. Now, I'm not going to use this one. I'm just going to take this one and color it lots with my blending brush, so it's quite a bit darker. And prop it up with dimensionals when I go to put it on, and it will spotlight this particular section of the stamp. So that's basically all that spotlighting is. So yes, thank you, Linda, for answering that. It is Cajun Craze. And mainly, Karen, because this paper has Cajun Craze in it. And I thought it was a good choice to use. So I will, now just a minute, I think I'm going to also, in the essence of continuity, I'm going to use my brush and pick up some of this off of here and just do a little bit around the edges of the inside. And you can see this ink goes a long ways. You don't need to have lots of ink, but you do need to buy those refills. I highly recommend whenever you buy a stamp pad to buy the refill. I recently had to re-ink a bunch of mine, and oh, it was nice. I had all the refills. So that's just going to give it a little bit of color there. And the other thing I need is a greeting. So I am going to, once again, using monochromatic. I love this stamp set, Peaceful Moments. It is still in the annual catalog. Has been for a couple years now. So I'm not sure if it's going to stay. And I'm going to use the Happy Birthday. You could use a die cut. You could fussy cut around it. Or you could be kind of lazy like I am. And I'm just going to trim it. So I think I'm going to, of course, paper trimmer would be straighter, but not too bad. Just because my scissors fit the whole length of it, it's not too bad. And that will go. Now we can put it together. And I'll just show you what my plan was to put this on the inside. I'm just going to, I'm trying to read Karen's comment, but it's pretty long, so I think maybe everybody would like to read it. Love how putting the ink on the blending brush onto the block and using it instead of on the stand. Yes, that was a trick I learned recently from watching somebody's video. Sorry, don't know whose, but, and it does work very well like that to be able to make more use out of your ink. I'm going to glue this on flat. I know lots of you, when I do classes, did you erase that or didn't you? You know, it's a matter of personal preference. I know lots of you like to do exactly what the teacher does, and that's great. As a teacher, we appreciate that, don't we? However, don't feel that it's not done properly if you don't do what the teacher does, okay? I also like to turn mine over, usually do my burnishing from the back side, because then my fingers, which usually have ink on them, don't end up messing it up so bad. And, okay, I could have swore, oh, I have some dimensionals that I'm going to put on this. And yes, you could tear these, but it's kind of my thing that I want things done more exact, so I don't do that. I know lots of you do, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with each of us doing our own thing a different way. As long as we're, well, it wasn't very good, didn't stick. As long as we're having fun, keep having fun with your stamping and keep stamping and sharing. There's nothing more gratifying than getting an email or a text from someone saying, that card you sent just made my day. And how many of you have received something like that? Recently, I've had a few of those, and it does make you feel good that, hey, I took the time to do that, and I'm so glad that they appreciated it. So I am going to, before that, my plan was to add a piece of this ribbon, which to me is country kind of ribbon. And I only want a piece that is going to poke out here. And to make it as a what we call a flagged end, I'm just going to try not to cut my fingers. Going to, because that makes a real mess if you cut your fingers while you're crafting. Have you ever done that? Kneaded and then cut it backwards. Oh well, lucky I have lots of ribbon. Let's try cutting it this way. That's better. Yeah, let me know if you've ever had any of those oopses where you've ended up with a bit of unwanted blood on your project. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. This is a plus, but it's the only one I have in a container or a holder now at the moment. Now, which way do I want this? I want this to go down. And the reason I'm using it is it doesn't take long to dry. I can put it on. I can move it if I want to. And I think I'm going to make it just a little bit shorter because I don't want it over the edge too much. I want a little bit more. See how easy it is to pull that off and just angle it a little bit like that. And you can see it's going to fray if I keep mucking with it. So like I told the ladies today, I'm sorry, but I am a perfectionist, so it takes me a bit of time to get things done. Okay, so I'm going to put mine there. This is how I keep my ribbon together, and especially with these bigger ones, is just with a quilting pin. Any of you are quilters, you would know that you have those. And then to put this on, you need dimensionals again to pop it up. And I'll just show you if you could put this behind, it makes it stand out a little more, but because I've darkened it, I think it's going to be just fine. And of course, the hardest part is to line it up perfectly with what you have behind here. So I'm going to look at my trees here, my fence post. I can line up these fence posts. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing here. And a little bit of my grass on that side. And I think that looks pretty good. You could add a little bit of Winkostella, would look nice there. On my greeting, because it's going to be going over a raised area, I'm going to add dimensionals along the one side and liquid glue on the other. And like I say, there's definitely ways that you could make this fancier, but I was wanting to make this be my focal point on that card. So there is that card. Now I'll show you a couple others I did with that set with Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent, our retiring colors. Oh, thanks, Karen. Yes, I love them too. They there's something kind of special about them. That quite often what we will do is do this just in black and then color this with markers or blends or whatever. So many different ways to do it. So here's one done with the other paper that's in that package, an embossing folder, and just stamped. This is Evening Evergreen stamped on Soft Succulent. And I did cut the words just a little bit different. And this is one with the, can't remember the name of it, but the pattern paper, the 6x6, someone will tell me on there. And with the ovals that we have. So and a piece of ribbon just attached. This is the back of some of that farm paper that I showed you earlier that is in the Sale-A-Bration offer. So many different possibilities, and a basic gray border and card with that. So the lady that I found most of these with is Rochelle Liard Smith, stampinflair.com. I think she had 4 different samples, and I only chose to do the 3, but great ideas that she shared with all of us. So Fancy Flora, yes, that could be Karen. I can't remember, but yes. Great. Thanks, Betty. I see Betty is watching from over on YouTube. I don't know if there's anyone else. I know Kathy Jean, you're usually over on YouTube, but welcome to everyone who watches the replay on YouTube as well. So if there's no other questions, I'm going to carry on to my show and tell cards. First of all, the card from last week, made with this paper, this fancy fold, has been won by Maggie. So Maggie, I know you're on here, and I will be sending that off to you in the next few days. Let me know what you like out of these. Do you like the greens or the Cajun Craze or both? And if you make any spotlight cards, please be sure and share them. We're always looking for ideas, of course. Kathy, neat. Looks like the view from the camera lens. Yes, great analogy there. This is a card I received from Diana, and it has a window sheet holding the 2 pieces together with the circle and the pansies. DSP, which is amazing. Card swap from Carmen, and this is with the new set, that online exclusive set. Isn't it gorgeous? I do not have it. I have some of the designer paper, but I do not have the set yet. Hello, Irresistible Sweet Collection is what she says for that one. Then I have, this one's from Barb, and it is using that paper that's retired. And interesting, she has used the embossing folder from the Legendary Ride. Reminds me of truck steps kind of thing, running boards for the truck, but she's flipped it and it's got the inside showing. So kind of a neat technique, if you can see that. And this one from Sharon, and Sharon, I didn't see if you were on here or not. Another black and white, but look at this fold done with, this is paper from the, Betty will help me here, perfectly penciled paper. And it's a design that we did a couple weeks ago in our Zoom with Friends class. So just a different idea fold that Faye taught us there. So thank you. Last week in Zoom with Friends, we did this card. And thank you to Karen Yeomans. And it, just a minute, I got instructions laying here as well. I just want to show you that it stands up like so. And that's why I have my paper clips on it to hold it together. Then this flips up, and this would be where you'd write your greeting, but a really neat fold. So I love it, and I needed to keep my instructions in case I want to make it, well, for when I want to make it again, not in case. Another one that I did with this paper, and I only bought the paper and the stamp set. I didn't buy the dies yet. I've had a few people say they're well worth it, so I may be doing that before too long, before that catalog retires. And last but not least is what we did in our black and white class today. We did 5 cards, all of them different. Some of them using that paper from the Legendary Ride, this one using the conversation bubbles, and this one artistic impressions and the dies that go with it. And I did use adhesive sheets on the back of that one because it took quite a bit. So that's all I have for you guys. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sharing this video, and I will figure out the draw thing before I go live next time. I hope you've enjoyed this live being much better with sound and with picture, and just let me see if I can see my hand with my mouse, but I'm going to come back to you and say thank you in person. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And like I say, even if you're watching on the replay, please leave your comments, and I do go back and draw from all of them for today's card, as well as I will check for the 5 cards that I will mail out this coming week. So thanks, everyone. Take care now.